Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner, brought to you by My Game Day Collections and mygamedaycollections.com. Their styles are comfortable and an alternative to women's basic tees and hoodies. Also have men's clothing. They offer royalties on all gross sales or a kickback to the schools that sign up with them up to 8%. First return is free, 50% off discount on all standard shipping, and it's a local company. The customer service is local. That is mygamedaycollections.com. On this episode of Coach's Corner, I'm pleased to be joined by Elkhorn North girls basketball coach Ann Prince. I was actually going to say new Elkhorn North, but it's been old kind of news, but it's still new because you haven't played a game yet. So how's everything going so far this summer for you, Ann?
Oh, it's good. Thank you very much for having me on. It's just been a little bit of a challenging year, that's for sure, but it was great in June to actually finally get in and start working with our kids and stuff. Obviously started with the weights, and then we were able to do some skill work, so that was good. And then eventually it opened up there where we could go ahead and play live and all of that. So it's been just fantastic to get in there and get to work with the girls and get started on a new program.
What's been take the pandemic side out of it. What's been the biggest challenge so far? Maybe it is, obviously not seeing the girls and having actual interaction with them until, June. I'm guessing that's it, but what's been maybe some other challenges just getting the program off the ground?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. The pandemic just throws a wrench into everything. I had a lot of things I wanted to do when you're starting a new program. More even on the youth side and middle school level, I really wanted to do some camps, academies to really kind of get the excitement going with the younger kids, to get them involved in the program. And those things just kind of got axed based on the pandemic. So, that just kind of sets you back where, you want to start working with kids and build that excitement and get those skills developed for the future. And, those are things we can't control. So now that part was a little bit disappointing. I think also, when you're building a team, obviously the teamwork aspect, building that culture is huge. And that's a little tougher to do when you're asked to social distance and, you can't get together and all these things. So those are the challenges, I think, probably for any program, but in particular, when you're trying to build a new program from scratch.
And you don't have any seniors to kind of help that have been through that fire, right?
Exactly. No seniors in the program. I've got 4 juniors, actually 5. One's kind of injured. I think she'll end up being able to play. But, those are definitely some of the challenges is, not a lot of older kids in the program. And so kind of we're all in this together, finding our way.
Right. How do you build leaders with such a young, as far as age, group? How does that happen?
Yeah, that's something I've tried to tell the kids. You don't necessarily have to be the junior or senior to be a leader. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is, can you lead by example? What's your work ethic, right? How do you get along with your teammates, right? Those kinds of things. I think you want to develop that leadership all the way through. And just get kids to lead by example. I think the verbal aspect of it is the hardest, is getting them, and I think that comes later on, getting them to speak up and not be afraid to speak up. I think that'll be a challenge to us just because of how young we are, but I've been very pleasantly surprised so far with the leadership that I'm getting from the kids. And there's a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, and we generally just have some great kids in the program.
What's going to be the sort of staples, or you brought up culture, you mentioned culture. So what are some of those staples of Elkhorn North girls basketball that you want to see, for years to come?
Right. Just, that hard work, commitment to the team aspect, just really being supportive of everybody on the team, just being coachable, having great attitudes, things like that. Being part of something that's bigger than just yourself. All of those kinds of things are the things that we've talked about. We had a few Zoom meetings, talk about a little bit of our core values, and we'll refine those and make those a little bit more the girls. But those are the things that we want to try to establish, and I think we have started out and established those things pretty well this summer.
How hard has it been? And this kind of touches back to what we talked about a little bit already, but you're having these Zoom meetings and stuff, and normally that stuff is in person, and you can see like their eyes and are you looking at me? Like stuff coaches want to see, body language stuff. Has that been really hard to kind of work through, I guess?
For sure. And I tried not to do a whole lot of Zooms. I know some of these kids were pretty stressed out with everything that was required of them in the spring, and they were Zooming all the time. And, we did some things then, and it was difficult. I'm much better speaking in person to the kid and really getting to know the kid. It's just more personable. It's just hard communicating, and the video would sometimes bleep out and things like that. So just to get into the gym and get that personal interaction with the kids, that was special, and I think that's really where we started building that culture.
What does the fall kind of or coming up look like if everything is as normal as possible, where there's school and all that? What does that look like? Do you have a lot of volleyball girls or not? Or are you going to play fall league stuff? Or what does that look like for you?
Well, this is kind of a crazy statistic, but every single girl in my program is a multi-sport kid.
Nice.
Every single one. So, the stuff that we're not probably going to be able to do much in the fall, I'm certainly hoping that the kids are still working on their game, working on their skills and that kind of thing. But as far as anything real organized, it's probably not going to be possible because they're all doing either volleyball, softball, cross country. I don't think I have any golfers, but that'll be something that, we're both really excited about. I've loved multi-sport kids. I think it just makes you tougher and more well-rounded and not as many overuse injuries, that kind of thing. And I think overall our culture at Elkhorn North, we're very supportive of the multi-sport kids. We want to work together, but at the same time, we got to still focus at the sport in hand. And, that's going to probably be a lot on the girls to do some individual stuff.
Right. Okay. So this is sort of a question I guess I've always wanted to know, and I've asked parents, and you are a parent of Britt who hasn't played a high school game yet, but she has a Division I offer. Creighton offered a month-ish ago, a few weeks ago, something like that. I guess how do you manage that, like as a parent, and knowing that she's young, but I understand, and I think most people understand that girls mature faster and the recruiting process starts a lot sooner for them. How do you manage that as coach, mom? How does that I'm sure it was exciting to get that offer, but at the same time, is it like, okay, are we jumping the gun? Or what kind of thoughts do you have for people that might say, oh, that's too early?
Right. I've kind of been her coach for a long time, and
Right.
Obviously her mother. And first of all, she was thrilled to get the offer, and those Creighton coaches are amazing, and they just made her feel so wanted and welcome and so forth. So we're thrilled about the offer. And yes, it's early, but I think, she's been working on her game since she's about 4 or 5 years old, a goal of hers. And I think she's handled it really well. She's a pretty humble kid, pretty quiet kid, a pretty great teammate. She gets along really well with her peers, with her teammates. And I think it's just my message to all of them: just be humble, be hardworking, never be satisfied, keep growing your game, become the best player you can possibly be, all of those things. So my message to her is the same as it is to everybody on our team. And then obviously, me being her mother,
Right.
I'm probably harder on her than I am the other kids. And that's something she just kind of knows, that there's probably a certain level of expectation that there's going to be. I have to try to remember to turn it off, Sometimes you get home and that I'm very competitive. She is too, but I think it's important. You got to be coach, you got to be mom too, and try to find that balance. But overall, it's been good, and I think she's taken it in stride and is very excited about her future.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are, as am I guess, to kind of follow it, right? So, because she's been good for a long time, and now it's like, all right, like let's see this, happen. So it's kind of exciting and neat, and another name to kind of throw in the ring of, okay, yeah, this is the next person that could be, on that elite level. We'll see. A couple more here. The first one is, what does a successful season look like for Elkhorn North, knowing no seniors, numbers, all that stuff? What does that look like? Is there a win total out there, or is it like we just want to go compete every game?
Yeah, I would say most people would say when you're just starting out and you have no seniors that, you're probably not going to expect to win a lot. But my expectations are pretty high, and I think the girls' expectations are pretty high. And I think we kind of showed this summer glimpses of, hey, we've got potential to kind of get on the scene next year. And I don't want to, set a certain standard for win and losses. But I think if we kind of play to our style and kind of follow our mission, hard work, development, skills, all of those things, I think everything's going to fall in line. And I think we're going to be in the mix and be very competitive with the top teams. So that's kind of what I'm feeling like, is that we've got some really, really great athletes in the program.
Yeah.
And we feel that we can be competitive next year. Will it be challenging? Yes. No seniors. I probably have 2 juniors that'll play significantly. And then I have a lot of sophomores and probably 3 freshmen that are going to be playing quite a bit. A couple other juniors kind of on that borderline there. So that's kind of where we're at. And I think anytime you're playing a younger lineup, I mean, it's exciting because you have those kids, for a
Right.
couple of years. But we also have a lot to learn and a lot to work on. And, you're going to be going against bigger, faster, stronger, and so forth.
Okay, last question. This is something I ask everybody, and how I end it. And you can answer however you would like, but not the most talented player that you've ever coached, because you've coached at Fremont and other places. Not the most talented player you've ever coached, but the favorite player you've ever coached. And the easy answer would be your daughter. So let's shy away from her and do somebody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a hard one. And I have watched these enough to know that you're going to ask that question. Yeah. And it's hard because really any player that just plays their tail off and is a great teammate. I mean, I love all of those kids. And it's hard to pinpoint any particular kid. And I coached way back in Midland, on to Fremont, on to Elkhorn. I guess, if I have to throw some names out there, the most recent, Maddie Meehan at Elkhorn High, Peyton Cooley just graduated, and those kids are kind of the epitome of what we want. Just hardworking, blue collar, will lay it on the line, team first players, not me players. And those are just 2 kids that come to mind. I mean, there's several others. Annie Cooper, just a great kid. Mackenzie Ritter out of Fremont. And, again, those might not be the most talented kids. I'm just talking about hardworking kids that are gritty.
See, you answered that just fine. You gave me, like everybody else, no one ever gives like a specific one name. They say a bunch and then they maybe settle on one at the end. That was great. That's perfect.
All right.
All right. All right. Thanks. I appreciate your time today and working with me. I know we changed times and days and weeks and stuff, so it's been a long time coming to put this video together. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.